Good evening, friends. We are solving this bond assignment nowadays, and I'm receiving questions about this exercise 10-14. I think there is some issue with this exercise, so I'll go through this problem and we'll solve it together and see if my video helps you solving this problem on your computer screen. So I'm happy that my previous video helped some of those who were trying to solve the previous brief exercise 10-13. So I'll do the same thing here. Unfortunately, I have already solved this problem, so I know the answers already. So they will be in front of you in front of us. But I'll show you how I computed these answers. So this Tarawa Limited issued 870,000 of 10-year 5% bond on January 1st, 2018, when the market interest rate was 6%. So market was demanding a higher rate. This Tarawa Limited was issuing bonds on a lower interest rate. So because market was demanding higher and Tarawa is offering lower interest rate, they had to pay some interest upfront by issuing this bond on discount. And so Tarawa received not $870,000, which they wanted to, which was the face value of this bond, but they received $805,287. And the interest is paid semi-annually on July and January, and the year end for Tarawa is December 31st. So it's a 10-year bond. So let's make the bond again. So this is the bond in front of us, and it has $870,000 face value, and 5% is the coupon rate. So let's see what's the coupon amount is, and N is equal to 20. So 10 years, semi-annual payments, 10 times 2 is 20. And $870,000 times 0.25, which is half of 5%, is 21,750. So 21,750 is the coupon payment, and there are 20 such payments for this bond. So here in the first part of this problem, record the issue of the bond on January 1st. So the issuance is just cash is coming in by the price of the bond, which is already given, 805,287 in my problem. You may have different numbers in your problem, but the concept is the same. And bonds payable, which is my liability, is the same amount. So cash debit, bonds payable credit is the first entry. Now second, this is asking to record the payment of interest on July 1st. July 1st is the first payment date according to this problem statement. So on July 1st, I will be paying cash, or Tarawa will be paying cash, 21,750, but the interest expense would be different. And interest expense would be based on this, which is the price of the bond, the proceeds received from the bond, and the 6%, adjusted 6% interest rate. So interest expense on July 1 is 805,287 times the market rate, which is 6%, and because it's semi-annual, I would say 6 by 12. And as you practice and you know that when there are just two payments, it's just half of the interest rate, as you become fluent with these problems, you can just write 3%, which is half of 6%. So you don't need to write all that. You can mentally calculate adjusted interest rate. So let's compute what it is. 805,287 times 0.03, which is 3%, 24,15861. So it is 24,158.61 is the interest expense on July. And difference between this number and my interest payment, which was 21,750, is the amortization. And by the way, it is discount amortization. This means we are increasing the carrying value of the bond by this amount. Amortization is 24,158.61 minus 21,750 is equal to 2408.61. So let's see if that amount has worked for us. So yeah, I rounded this number to 2409 as the problem was asking me to do. So yeah, interest expense is 24,159, which is here in front of you on the left side of your screen. This is the interest expense. This is interest payment. And or say cash outflow. And this is my amortization. And amortization in this discount bond is increasing the carrying value of the bond. So I'm crediting bonds payable by 2409. If it were a premium bond, I would be debiting bonds payable by some amount, which is the difference between, again, this interest expense and cash outflow, cash payment. So that is the second part of the bond problem that we are dealing. Now, the third is record the accrual of interest on December 31st. Why accrual? Because the payment is due on January. So they have not paid interest until December 31st. The second interest payment is not paid until December 31st. It's due on January 1st. So we cannot pay right now. So that's why we are on December 31st, we are posting an adjusting journal entry to record interest payable. And what that would be, let's compute. Now, December 31st adjusting entry. That's what we are doing now. And so what is the carrying value of the bond to compute interest expense? Carrying value of bond now is the opening balance, which was 805,287, or the proceeds that we received by issuing this bond, plus the amortization, which is 2,409, and this number is coming from here, and this number is coming from there. So that was opening balance. This is the carrying value. If I add these two numbers, let's see what it is. 805,287 plus 240. So the adjusted carrying value or updated carrying value is 807,696. And now I would use this number to compute interest expense. Interest expense is carrying value, which is 807,696 now, times 3%. And this number is $24,231. 24,231. Now, my adjusting journal entry, AJE, would be interest expense debit 24,231. Now, I'm not paying any cash now. It's just an adjusting journal entry. Cash would be paid on January 1st. So I would say interest payable here, which is the same amount, coupon amount, coming from the top on the face of my coupon, or on the coupon 21,750. This is the amount that I'm writing here, 21,750. This amount remains the same throughout the life of the bond, so we don't touch this. And the difference between these two numbers is our amortization, 2481. So 2481 is bonds payable. So that's our adjusting journal entry. Let's see if we are doing it correctly. So this is the one we are talking about, December 31st here on the right hand side of the screen. Interest expense 24,231, bonds payable credit, and interest payable credit by 21,750. Now, up to this point, most of us have computed everything correctly. The problem is with this part B of the third question of this problem. So what it is asking about, let's read it. Prove that the amount of cash received when bonds were sold by determining bonds present value on January 1, 2018. Okay, so, and then prove the carrying amount of the bond 1 year later by determining the present value of the bond at that time. So we are asked to compute present value of the bond at that time. Now I totally see that this amount, that the cash received, is just coming straight from here. 805,287 is the same amount. This is the cash provided by this bond. Now we are asked to compute present value of the bond. Some of my friends have computed this number by using the carrying amount of this bond, which is 807,696 plus amortization on December 31st, 2018, which is 2,481. The sum of these two numbers, 807,696 plus 2,481, $810,177 is the updated carrying value, which should also be theoretically, this number should be our price of the bond on January 1st, 2019. But if I go back to my solution, this is the number that I have put, 810177. So just a difference of $1. If we can alternatively compute this number using a different route, if they're asking us to compute present value of the bond, we can compute present value of the bond using our PV table. So to help you think conceptually, let me create a timeline here. So this is my bond timeline. The bond started in January 1st, 2018. It paid 2 payments in a year. Payment amount was $21,750. And this is where we are standing now, Jan 1st, 2019. And say the finance manager of Tarwa Limited is thinking about the price of this bond here. The finance manager is standing here and he's thinking about all the future cash outflows from this bond and the present value of all those outflows, $21,750. And at the end of the bond, there are 20 payments in total from this bond. N was 20. But when manager is on January 1st, 2019, when we are thinking here, the remaining N is just 18. We have already dealt with 2 payments. These 2 payments are gone. So we are left with 18 payments of $21,750 plus the PV of face value of bond, which is $870,000. So alternatively, we can compute PV of these 2 numbers. So PV of bond is equal to PV of annuity plus PV of face value. So PV of annuity is $21,750 times some factor from PV table plus $870,000 plus times a factor which is also coming from PV table. So let's go to our PV table and find those 2 factors. So from annuity table, we are still looking at market rate of 3%, and now N is equal to 18. So intersection of both values is 13.75351. 13.75351, and then we go back to our PV table. Now go to PV of $1, market rate 3%, adjusted on 6 months basis, and then 18 is the number of years, or not number of years, number of payments remaining for this bond. So the factor is 0.58739. 0.58739. So let's compute 21,750 times 13.75351. 299,139 plus 511,029. So this number is 810,168.3. 168 dollars at the end. So if I see here in my solution, it's 810,176. It's about $12 off the answer. How I came up with my answer, this answer, maybe through this method, which I showed you, or I used my Excel sheet here. So what I did, I computed PV of bond using the face value, which is this, amount of interest payment, which was 21,750. Now my number of payments are 18, and interest is say 3%. So 810,172. That is the price of the bond, which is different from what I have put here in the problem. So what I did also was I used my Excel sheet. I made complete bond schedule for this bond, starting from the price they gave me, and then I computed all those amortization and payments in the second value, or say the carrying amount on January 1st, 2019 was 810,176, which is this number. So I think it has to do with the rounding errors that some of us are making. So try to use different methods. I have used both my PV table method and my calculator and my Excel sheet. So Excel sheet worked the best for me. This is the accurate number that WileyPLUS has accepted. So if you're, I think I posted this bond calculator. So just punch these numbers, and this 810,172 should also be accepted by WileyPLUS. WileyPLUS should be lenient enough to accept a range of numbers, and if that doesn't help, just let me know again. I hope this video will solve the problem that some of us are dealing with. So all the best with this assignment. If you have any other questions, please feel free to post in my email, and I'll be happy to respond to those. Thank you.